Have you ever felt like life is moving too fast? Like the days blur together, and you're just trying to keep up, without really living? If so, you're not alone. Many of us, especially as we grow older, feel that time is slipping through our fingers. We carry the weight of memories, regrets, worries about the future, and somewhere along the way, we forget how to be here, now. But what if I told you, peace isn't far away? What if the calm you've been searching for isn't in some distant retreat, but in something as simple, and as profound, as your own breath? In today's video, we'll take a gentle step into the practice of mindfulness, rooted in the wisdom of Buddhist teachings but shared in a way that speaks directly to your everyday life. No complicated rituals. No pressure to be perfect. Just one breath. One moment. One quiet invitation to come home to yourself. You'll learn how the breath is not only a physical function but a gateway to presence, calm, and deep inner peace. Together, we'll explore how to release stress, soften the heart, and reconnect with what truly matters, starting with this very moment. This video is not about escaping life. It's about coming back to it. Fully. Gently. With awareness. So if your heart has been heavy, if your thoughts have been restless, if you've been craving a slower, more peaceful rhythm to your days, let this be your reminder. You don't have to chase peace. You can breathe it in. Right here. Right now. Part 1. Breath, the gateway to the present moment. Close your eyes for a moment, and take a deep breath. No need to change anything. Just notice it. Feel the air moving in and out. Feel your body gently rising and falling. That breath you just took, it might seem simple, ordinary, but it holds the secret to one of the most profound teachings in life: how to return to the present moment. In Buddhist practice, the breath is considered a bridge that connects the body and the mind. A path that brings us home, back to where life is actually happening, here and now. Many of us live in our thoughts. We replay the past. We worry about what's ahead. We get caught in stories of what could have been, or what might go wrong. But life, real life, doesn't exist in the past or the future. It's happening right now, in this moment. And the breath is our invitation to step into it. Think about it. Your breath is always there with you. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't need money, or equipment, or even a quiet room. You just need a moment of awareness. Right now, try this simple practice. As you breathe in, gently say in your mind, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. As you breathe out, breathing out, I know I am breathing out. That's it. You're not forcing the breath. You're simply noticing it. You are here, with yourself, with your life, in this moment. This kind of presence may feel small at first, but it's powerful. Because every time you return to your breath, you're breaking the cycle of distraction. You're stepping out of automatic mode. You're choosing awareness over autopilot. For those of us in the second half of life, this practice becomes even more meaningful. We've carried so much. We've lived through joys, sorrows, losses, and victories. And sometimes, it can feel like the days are slipping by faster than ever. But when we come back to our breath, we slow everything down. We come home to what is real. We reclaim our time, not by doing more, but by being more present. You don't have to be a monk or sit on a mountain. You don't need fancy meditation apps or silent retreats. All you need is this moment. This breath. So, take another one now. Slowly. In and out. This is not just a breath. It's a door. A beginning. A soft whisper from life itself, inviting you to wake up, gently, to the gift of now. Part 2. Releasing worry with every breath. What if I told you that every time you exhale, you can let go? Not of everything at once. Not of every burden you carry. But of just one small knot of tension, one little worry. With each breath you release. As we grow older, the weight we carry isn't always physical. It's the thoughts that spin through our minds. The regrets that echo from the past. The uncertainty about what lies ahead. Even in the quiet moments, especially in the quiet moments. The mind can be noisy. But there's something gentle, something powerful, that's always within reach. Your breath. In Buddhist teachings, we're reminded that the mind can be like a wild horse, running in every direction. But the breath is the rope that gently guides it home. Let's try a small practice together. Right now, wherever you are. Breathe in and silently say, breathing in, I feel calm. Breathe out and silently say, breathing out, I let go. Again. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I let go. It's simple, but not simplistic. Because the breath is more than air, it carries intention. And that intention is healing. Every breath can be a release. Of fear. Of frustration. Of the tension you didn't even realize you were holding in your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. With each breath, we can soften. We can return to the body and remind it, you are safe now. You may have heard the saying, let it go. But what they don't always tell you is how. Letting go doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet. Slow. Moment by moment. Just like the leaves that fall gently from a tree in autumn. You don't have to force anything. You just breathe, and trust that life will help you release what no longer serves you. This is a practice especially needed as we age. Why? Because we've seen more. We've lost more. And we tend to carry more, stories, responsibilities, unanswered questions. But the beauty of mindfulness is that it doesn't ask us to forget. It asks us to relate differently. To look at our worries not as enemies, but as visitors. To say, I see you, fear. I see you, doubt. But you don't have to stay. You can come and go, like clouds in the sky. Breathing in, we acknowledge. Breathing out, we release. And the more we practice, the lighter we feel. Not because the world has changed, but because our relationship to the world has changed. There's nothing mystical or unreachable about this. You could be sitting in your kitchen, on your porch, lying in bed at 2 a.m. when your thoughts won't stop spinning. And still, your breath is there. Like an old friend. Ready to hold you steady. So the next time worry begins to rise, before reaching for distraction, or getting swept away by it, pause. Place a gentle hand on your chest. And return to the rhythm that has been with you since the day you were born. Inhale, calm. Exhale, release. You may not be able to change everything, but you can change how you meet it. One breath at a time. Part 3. Coming home to yourself. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered who's looking back? Not just the face. Not the wrinkles or the smile lines. But the person underneath it all, the one who's lived, loved, lost, and learned. As we move through life, it's easy to lose touch with that person. We become roles: spouse, parent, grandparent. We become our jobs, our responsibilities, our routines. And sometimes, in the midst of doing so much for others, we forget to stay in touch with ourselves. But here's the quiet truth. You've never really lost yourself. You're still there, underneath the noise, the labels, the years. And the breath can help you find your way back. Mindfulness is not just about being present with the world. It's also about being present with yourself. Let's take a moment together. Sit quietly. No need to change anything. Just breathe. Breathe in, and silently say, I feel myself. Breathe out. I return to myself. Again. I feel myself. I return to myself. This is not selfish. This is sacred. Because when we reconnect with ourselves, we begin to heal parts we didn't even know were wounded. For many of us, there are old stories inside. Stories of not being enough. Stories of mistakes made, or love missed, or words never said. Sometimes, we carry judgment toward ourselves longer than anyone else ever would. But when you come home to your breath, when you sit quietly with yourself, you begin to see things differently. You start to recognize, I am not just my past. I am not my pain. I am a living, breathing human being, still growing, still worthy, still whole. This is the kind of healing that doesn't need a therapist or a retreat. It just needs your willingness to sit with yourself, without judgment, without expectation. And the breath is your anchor. Each inhale is a greeting. Each exhale is a soft surrender. Over time, you may begin to hear the voice beneath the noise. Not the voice of fear or regret, but the voice of wisdom. The voice of compassion. The voice that says, I'm still here. I've always been here. And you are enough. This is why so many Buddhist teachings begin with awareness of breath and awareness of self. Because in stillness, we remember. We remember that our worth isn't measured by what we do, but by our simple, sacred presence. You are not broken. You don't need fixing. You just need space to reconnect with the one who has always been there. If you ever feel distant from yourself, try this simple practice. Find a quiet spot. Close your eyes. Place a gentle hand over your heart. And say silently, breathing in, I return to my heart. Breathing out, I rest in who I am. Let these words guide you, not as affirmations to convince yourself, but as reminders of the truth that's already inside you. Part 4. The breath, a quiet source of wisdom. There's a kind of wisdom that doesn't come from books. It's not loud. It doesn't argue or try to impress. It speaks softly, through stillness, through presence, through breath. In Buddhism, we are reminded again and again. The truth is not outside of us. It's already here, within our own body, our own breath, our own awareness. But most of us spend years looking elsewhere. We search for answers in noise, in achievements, in other people. We try to make sense of life through doing more, knowing more, fixing more. And all the while, the breath is waiting, quietly offering what we've been seeking: clarity, insight, and understanding. Think about it. When you're calm, when you're not rushed or overwhelmed, have you ever noticed how answers begin to appear on their own? That's not a coincidence. That's the natural wisdom of your own mind, when it's no longer clouded by fear or noise. The breath helps clear that cloud. Each inhale brings spaciousness. Each exhale releases tension. And as the body softens, the mind becomes clearer. You begin to see things as they really are, not through the lens of habit, anxiety, or self-judgment, but through the lens of presence. This is what Buddhist monks call clear seeing. And it's available to all of us, not just those in robes. You don't have to renounce the world. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to become more aware. Let's try a small practice together. Breathe in, breathing in, I open to insight. Breathe out, breathing out, I rest in understanding. Again. Inhale, open. Exhale, rest. With time, you may notice something beautiful happening. The thoughts slow down. The reactions soften. And in the space that remains, a quiet knowing rises. It's not dramatic. It's not shouting. It's gentle, like a lantern being lit in a dark room. This kind of wisdom helps us face life with more grace. When we're hurt, we respond with compassion instead of blame. When we're afraid, we breathe before we react. When we don't know what to do, we listen deeper, instead of rushing into action. This is the art of mindful living, not having all the answers, but being present enough to hear them when they arrive. And for those of us in the later stages of life, this practice is especially powerful. Because age brings experience, but it doesn't automatically bring peace. Peace comes from insight. And insight comes from presence. It comes from watching your thoughts like clouds. Not clinging, not fighting, just observing. It comes from accepting things as they are. Not with resignation, but with understanding. It comes from asking not, why is this happening to me? But rather, what is this moment here to teach me? And again, the breath is our guide. It grounds us when life feels uncertain. It softens us when our hearts feel tight. It invites us to pause, to listen, to see more clearly. That's the kind of wisdom we grow into, not overnight, but breath by breath. So the next time life feels confusing, the next time you're caught in a swirl of emotion or decision or doubt, pause. Take one conscious breath. And ask gently, what do I really need to see here? Then breathe again. Not to force an answer, but to create space for one to arise. Because sometimes, all it takes to access your inner wisdom is to come back to the one place it's always been. Right here. Right now. With your breath. Conclusion, just one breath away. So here we are. After all the words, all the pauses, all the quiet invitations, it still comes down to this. One breath. One gentle inhale. One soft exhale. And suddenly, you're not in the past. You're not lost in worry. You're not somewhere else, hoping life will slow down for you. You're here. This is the power of mindfulness. It's not a practice of escape. It's a practice of return. Returning to yourself. Returning to your body. Returning to what is real, what is now, what is enough. You don't need to master anything. You don't need to become someone wiser, stronger, or more spiritual. You only need to remember what's already true. Peace lives inside you. Wisdom lives inside you. And the breath can lead you back, every single time. Maybe you'll begin your mornings with one mindful breath. Or pause before a meal to breathe with gratitude. Or take a few moments before sleep to come home to yourself. Small things. But small things, done with awareness, have the power to change everything. So the next time life feels too fast, too loud, too much, don't try to run from it. Just stop. Close your eyes. Breathe. This is your life. And it begins again, with one breath.